always great catching my next guest, Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's going to be back in action this Saturday, taking on Karina Silva, UFC Winnipeg. Jasmine, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to see you back in action. It's sort of you're sort of a staple for these Canadian cards. So when did you find out about this fight and how did this all come together?
I found out about it probably like maybe 2 months ago.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been a great camp. Once I heard Maycee was the main event, then I got even more excited about it and looking forward to going out there and showing what we've all been working on.
Yeah, and it would have been full circle if this stayed, the card had stayed in Ottawa, right? Because of course there's that story of how you got into the UFC, but they moved it to Winnipeg. We all, obviously Canadians love having you on the Canadian cards and all that. Was this the right amount of time off in between fights? Obviously last time we saw you was in Vancouver in October. Good amount of time off?
A little bit longer than I would like, but that's okay. We're back in here now.
Yeah, for sure. And just quickly talk about Vancouver. I know it wasn't the best time there with Manon Fiorot, but what did you take away the most from that fight that you're bringing into this one?
So definitely learned a lot. You learn more from a loss than you do a win. And it hurt and I had to, cry for a little while, but we got back in the gym quick and figured out what went wrong and how to be the best fighter that I can possibly be. And now here we are gonna show the world what's up on Saturday night. And luckily people they have a short memory, so they only remember your last fight. So if I have a great performance this time around, then I'll be right back up in the talks again for a title opportunity.
And like I mentioned, I think you were sort of a shoe-in for any of these Canadian cards. Were there any other opponents in the mix, or was it just Karni was offered and that's the fight you took?
That's the only one that was offered. I'm not too sure how they kind of like structure the cards or anything, but they said that the UFC is coming to Canada on this date and this is your opponent. So let's go, baby.
Yeah. And then, you mentioned Mike being in the main event. There's a lot of Canadians on this card, I think, compared to some of the other ones they've had. I just talked to Jamie Lynn Horth yesterday. She's like super stoked that she's on this card with you because I know you two have trained together. They just signed Jamie Siraj. Like, there's a lot of talent on here. How cool is that? I know you've been on cards before with other Canadian fighters, but they really did, I think, a good job of putting them all together on this event.
I agree. I think that they actually showcase Canada super well. Like Charles Jourdain is on it. That's going to be a crazy fight. I actually just saw him just like 5 minutes ago. And yeah, Jamie. I'm really excited to be on the same card with Jamie Lynn Horth. We got the opportunity to train together a bit back before either of us had any fights, and she came down and visited for a little while, and she's such an amazing person. Like we're so alike, and I can't wait to just like have that energy on fight week and have another like friend that's a girl around.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool. I kind of feel like Jamie's like the West Coast version of you and you're the East Coast Canadian version of yourself, so it's kind of
I feel like that too.
Yeah, just knowing both of you, because I've known Jamie prior to her getting in the UFC and stuff, so it's cool that you both have sort of made that leap, which is awesome. But let's talk about your opponent, Karina Silva, 19-6 record. How do you feel like stylistically you match up against her here?
I think stylistically it's a great matchup. I think it's nice that I'm fighting somebody that's, not like a runner or like moves a lot or anything like that. She's I think her fight style and my fight style, we both want to move forward. And so I think that's a very entertaining style to watch.
Yeah, I would agree. Camp pretty much the same. Who did you get to work with this time around as far as training camp?
Yep, camp's been the same. I stayed at Niagara Top Team. I think we're the best gym in the world. So we got amazing coaches. I got amazing training partners. I've got like Danielle Lentini. She's like up and comer. She's crazy. She's 115er, but oh my goodness, is she talented. Hannah Taylor, a former wrestling Olympian, and now transitioned to MMA. Nice. And just made her pro debut. And she's a stud. We've got Alana, we got Joe, we got Tanya. Like I've got a room full of super talented girls, which I never had before. Before I would have maybe one girl, if that, but now we have like a little bit of a hotbed of like female talent. And like, they're no joke. Oh my goodness, they keep me honest.
Yeah, well, and that's got to be cool too for you, because I know so many fighters are going to your gym. I mean, it's been the case the last couple of years. It's almost become like TriStar, where like if you want to go train at the best in Canada, fighters will come to your gym. So that's got to be cool for you, because I remember when you started, you were sort of the newbie, and now you're sort of the veteran at the gym.
Exactly. It's so cool, and it's amazing. Like we'll come in for either our Monday wrestling is always crazy or our sparring on Thursday. And there's people that coming from all over that I would have never known. We have this new guy, Josh. He's like a kickboxer from Australia that came down, moved to Canada, moved to Niagara Top Team, and he's a stud. Like obviously Tisha, he's coming down, and for my fight week, my main man that always helps me out with all my fights. And we got a crazy hotbed. Cody, he was trying to get on this card too, but yeah, it's a really good spot right now.
Your corner, Chris and the two Matts, is he keeping it the same?
Of course, they're the
Yeah.
best corner in the world. Yeah,
Okay.
Chris Prickett, Matty Marcantonio, and Matthew Jelly.
There we go.
People don't know Jelly's that his real name's Matthew Jelly. Everyone's just like Jelly. That's a nickname.
Yeah, no, I don't know anyone who calls him Matt. It's always Jelly, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. What a great last name though. How's this fight playing out on Saturday? How do you see it unfolding?
I see it unfolding with my hand raised, finally back in the win column again, and but a lot happier.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about your division because things have really gotten shaken up a lot. We just saw Alexa Grasso a couple weeks ago beat Maycee Barber. I'm sure you saw that finish. That was incredible. Yeah. What did you think of that?
Yeah. That was nuts. Like she jumped on that neck real quick. Unbelievable performance, and yeah, it's cool to see how much like female MMA has grown. Like these chicks are talented as hell.
Do you think they're going to do Natalia and Valentina next? It kind of looks that way, right? The way things are heading.
I think that makes the most sense. I could see that fight happening.
Yeah, and I think too, like just even with you getting a win here, I think it's wide open right now at 125. Obviously, I think Natalia's going to get the next shot. But you got Manon, obviously you got Erin Blanchfield, you got Maycee's still in the mix despite losing. So I think beyond this fight, there's a lot of options for you. Again, not looking past Saturday, but I think it's pretty exciting what's ahead at 125.
I agree 100% that there's a lot of talent at 125 and it could be shaken up like real quick.
After this, again, not looking past Saturday, but do you want to keep fighting on these Canadian cards, or would you like to switch it up a little bit, maybe go travel a little bit, or just compete in different places close to home?
Of course, I love fighting on the Canadian cards because, it's like geared towards the Canadian fighters, but also like having the opportunity to fight in Saudi Arabia and experiencing that was absolutely unbelievable. So I would love to travel. I would love to be on the cards. Like as long as I'm fighting, I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's good. And I'll let you get back to that fighting. I know you got some media, Jasmine. Thanks so much for doing this. It's UFC Winnipeg this Saturday. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Just thank you to my team, Niagara Top Team, my coaches, my teammates. They're the best in the world, and I wouldn't be here without them.